Silence has a sound. It moves through palaces like the hum of forgotten prayers. Soft yet heavy. Beautiful yet cruel. I have lived in its echo all my life. The silence between a son and a king. He sits on the throne carved of gold. His eyes older than time. His hands steady. His words few. The world calls him Your Highness. But I call him Father. Though even that word feels too loud for our kind of love. In the courts, we speak with measured grace. Each sentence dipped in diplomacy. Each gesture polished by duty. But when the guests are gone, and the lamps are dimmed, there is nothing left. Except the silence of 1,000 things never said. I wonder if he ever thinks of me as more than his successor. As more than the name that will continue his reign. Does he remember the boy who once rode beside him? Barefoot, wild, and free. The one who laughed too much. The one who dreamed of stars instead of crowns? Sometimes I see him watching me. Not with warmth. But with the quiet judgment of a man who has seen what ambition can destroy. And I wonder, does he see himself in me? Or does he see a threat to the legacy he built with silence? When I was younger, I thought love spoke in words. But here, love hides behind duty. It exists in the way he nods slightly when I make the right decision. In the way he stays awake when I am away at war. In the way his hand trembles when I bow too deeply. He has never said, I am proud of you. He has never said, I love you. But maybe he doesn't need to. Maybe silence is the only language kings are allowed to speak. Still, sometimes the child inside me screams. For a voice, a touch. A moment when the king becomes a father again. There was a night I remember. The desert winds were strong. And lightning cracked like fate across the horizon. I was 16. Young enough to believe I could rewrite the stars. Old enough to know the palace had rules older than my heart. We argued. I spoke too freely. Too fiercely. He looked at me as if I had shattered something sacred. And in that gaze, I saw both fury and fear. He didn't shout. He didn't punish. He just turned away. That was worse than anger. It was exile in the form of silence. Since then, I've carried that moment like a scar no one can see. A wound shaped like a father's back turned to his son. In the years that followed, I learned to rule the way he did. With calm. With logic. With grace carved from restraint. But inside, I am not him. I am made of storm and poem. Of feelings too wild to stay silent forever. I write at night when no one watches. Poems that bleed truth between lines of gold. Poems that ask questions kings cannot answer. Poems that whisper. What if love isn't meant to be silent? What if the crown costs too much? The desert listens. It always does. It doesn't judge. It just absorbs the ache. Sometimes, I stand at the edge of the dunes. And I see his shadow stretching beside mine. Not behind me. Not ahead of me. But beside me. And in that, Mom.